Welcome to Channel KAW Art 103. I'm artist Kathleen A. Wilson, and this is The Spirit Speaks, Paints, Writes, an inspiring fusion of visual art and creative writing delivered through my warm voice. I call it Art of the Spirit, a space where paintings speak, stories breathe, and the soul is touched. I created this channel for those who seek peace in a noisy world, for those who believe that storytelling, faith, and art can awaken the beauty and resilience of the human spirit. I'm guided by the creative life with Kelly Morgan and the imaginative storm method with James Nave and Allegra Houston. I weave reflections that illuminate, uplift, and inspire. Here I share my art, words, and spirit, rooted in faith, culture, and imagination. You're invited to feel, reflect, return, collect, and subscribe. You'll be moved. You'll be surprised. You'll build an art collection and hear the Spirit speak. I begin with 3 stories close to my heart. I Dance with God, Shoes of a Man, and Roots in Clay. Each carries memory, truth, and hope for the journey forward. My first story is inspired by my painting, Rapture. It is a vision of praise, surrender, and moving with God's rhythm. It's called I Dance with God. Before I share these words, I invite you to take in the image on the screen, a painting I call Rapture. It captures that unspeakable moment when the spirit rises beyond the weight of the world, when body and breath align with the divine, when time surrenders to rhythm. Rapture is not just a painting. It is the stillness between steps, the trust between turns, the joy that lifts when you know you're not dancing alone. And so I offer this story, born from that sacred movement, a moment I call I Dance with God. I dreamed 4,000 dreams within dreams, and in that dream state, I was vulnerable. Like a fatted calf 1 second, a full crumb of scattered roaches the next. But one dream found solid ground. It awakened me. It was faith, weighty, present, full of gravity. It gave me a pass, transcending flesh, a centering, a truth I can trust, standing unwavering when I apply it to my life. Beneath an indigo sky, bathed in light, a voice, sure, steady, whispers through the veil. I've got your back. I've got your back. It's not common sense. It's supernatural. And in that knowing I move, aligned with love, charged with mesomorphic power. I and I, flesh and spirit, shadow and stardust. We dance, balanced, perfect, symmetrical, divine. I dance with God. And here's what I've come to know. When you trust the rhythm of something greater, you don't need to see the whole floor to take the next step. Faith is the partner who never lets you fall. Even in the shadows, there is choreography. Even in the silence, a song is playing. So come, dance with me. Dance with God. Let your soul remember its steps. When we dance with God, we find that every step is a prayer, every pause is a breath of grace, and every turn is a return to love. If you'd like to purchase Rapture and see additional works to collect, please visit my website at KathleenAWilson.com or call me at area code 323-292-0972 to collect a work for your own journey. From the dance of the Spirit, we move now to a story that walks on earth. The footsteps of my father, Richard Lee Atkins, and all brave men. This artwork honors my father, a Marine, a Mason, and a man of faith. His shoes carried him across history, leaving a blueprint for success, legacy. His passion was to uplift the business and creative mind of the African American community. These are Shoes of a Man, and the story they tell. There was an old cobbler once, hands tough as whipped leather, stitching shoes that carried people through life's long roads. In 1965, two men came to him in need of sturdy walking shoes, shoes that could bear the weight of 55 miles from Selma to Montgomery. He built them strong, thick soles for endurance, soft leather to guard against blisters, heels firm enough to run if the march turned violent. And it did. The troopers came with clubs, tear gas choked the air, blood stained the pavement. But still the soles held, and the men pressed on, step by step until the road bent toward justice. Years later, I looked down at my father's shoes, scuffed brown leather, creased from a life well lived. They're not just shoes, they're heirlooms. He wore them with the same courage as those who crossed the Edmund Pettus Bridge. But his march was not on Alabama asphalt, no. His march wound through the streets of Los Angeles, into boardrooms, onto construction sites, through church pews and community halls, building businesses, raising structures brick by brick, lifting the African American community so we might stand taller, live freer, walk farther. My father's shoes carried the weight of sacrifice, the rhythm of perseverance, the steady beat of faith. Each scuff is a sermon, each crease a story, each soul a testimony. Now they rest in my care. When I touch the worn leather, I hear echoes of Edmund Pettus, the sound of footsteps, defying fear, insisting on dignity. The shoes of a man remind us we do not walk alone. The road remembers, the ancestors remember, and love remembers. Say their name. Richard Lee Atkins. Shoes are more than leather and laces. They are the covenant between generations. They carry the weight of our ancestors' courage and leave prints of faith for us to follow. A man's shoes made in love outwalk fear and build a future of hope. And now, from strong leather to fragile clay, shoes made not for marching, but for planting freedom itself. Roots in clay. This story comes from an image of clay shoe planters. It's a meditation on survival, freedom, and spirit. It's called Roots in Clay. Filtering through time, my soul remembers great-great-grandma in Galveston, a slave going nowhere, feet washed but wing-tipped, longing for an ancestral home. Old Abe signed the papers in 1863, but in Texas, the news didn't arrive until 2 years later in 1865. She couldn't dance free, but she walked steady, partnered with hope, stepping sure as sandstone pavers, grounded in terra firma, dreaming freedom hidden in nature's best. Her feet ached, plantar fasciitis, ouch, cankles swollen from labor. Still, she fed the hens and chickens, shod in feathered tendencies, flightless, cooped up, just like her. And then the news came. Freedom. The earth shook like Calvary. She slipped on clay shoes fashioned by the potter's hand, made for a new beginning. She walked out of bondage like a potted plant withstanding drought, a life lopsided, but spirit still succulent, still rooted, still laced in hope. Clay cracks, but it also holds life. Out of clay we plant hope. Out of bondage we walk into freedom. Out of drought we remain succulent in spirit. If this story spoke to you, I invite you to see my other works at KathleenAWilson.com or call me at area code 323-292-0972 to collect a piece of art that carries this same spirit. Thank you for joining me on channel KAW Art 103 for this debut reading on The Spirit Speaks, Paints, Writes. I hope these stories danced in your spirit, walked through your memory, and planted seeds of hope in your heart. Come back for more, because here, art of the Spirit is boundless. Feel, reflect, return, collect, subscribe.